We'll take you to Salem, Southwest Washington, Sherwood, and several games in the local area, including the Battle of Lake Oswego. That's Sports Extra in just a few minutes at 11:30 right here on Channel 2. And that's sports.
Exciting ball game. Third quarter, Lake Ridge quarterback Mike Coyne flips to Cameron Reynolds, and he has gone down the sidelines. This baby will go for 65 yards and the touchdown. It was 29-14 in favor of Lake Ridge, but Lake Oswego comes back the other way. Peter Fisher with the pass. They get a good bounce, and it's Casey Cleveland who has the ball. He will go for 75 yards. But this is how it went for Lake Oswego. It was called back because of a penalty. The Pacers going to win it big, the final 36-14. Meanwhile, defending state champ Tigard at Glencoe. Fourth quarter, Tigard quarterback Scott Host hits Trent Staley. It's a touchdown, and it's 10-7. Glencoe still leading. The Tigard trying to come back. They cut it to 3 points, but the Crimson Tide came back on their very next possession. Jim Rufiner comes through with a big run. Watch this one. Cuts it up the middle, and he is gone, breaks a couple of tackles. 60 yards to pay dirt. The Crimson Tide went on to win it by 10, 17-7. And Jesuit was home tonight to take on Newburgh. First quarter, first possession for Newburgh. Ryan Bernard fumbles the football. Jesuit recovers, and a short while later it's Woody Green who scores for Jesuit. Crusaders win it easy, 24-0. And at Civic Stadium, Wilson took on Grant. Quarterback Matt Cochran, a big night, 3 TD passes, including this one to Kevin Nelson. The Trojans win it 34-0. Running down all the scores in the prep ranks. Franklin lost to Benson. Madison beat Cleveland. Roosevelt lost to Lincoln. McMinnville fell to Aloha. Hillsboro beat Beaverton. Sunset crushed Forest Grove. As I told you, Newburgh lost to Jesuit. Reynolds lost to Barlow. Gresham wins 41-0. Central Catholic fell to Sandy. David Douglas, Tip Park Rose. Oregon City wins big. West Lynn over Putnam. Crescent Valley lost to McNary. Sprague beat Lebanon. McKay over North Salem. And South Salem beat South Albany. Very easy.
Lots of scores.
The Three Rivers. Entering tonight's action, 3 teams were tied for the lead in the Three Rivers. Oregon City is one of them. Tonight, the Pioneers were at home against last place Clackamas, and Oregon City establishes its game right off the bat. Second offensive play by the Pioneers is a big one. Brian Piaski explodes for 76 yards and the touchdown. The 2-point conversion is good. 8-0 Oregon City. They don't slow down. Watch Anthony Spencer. He breaks, tackles, and carries a host of Cavaliers for 12 yards in the first down. But there's still work to be done, and it's Anthony Spencer getting the call. This time he breaks free, and it's see you later. 61 yards and the touchdown for Spencer. 22-0 Oregon City after a quarter. They roll on to a 56-0 win over Clackamas. The Pioneers keep a share of the lead in the Three Rivers. Canby also shared a portion of that lead entering tonight's action. The Cougars at home against rough and tough Milwaukee. We'll pick it up late fourth quarter. Milwaukee leads 14-9 in front of a packed house in Canby, but they're in trouble. The snap goes over Aaron Peterson's head. Disaster for Milwaukee. Canby recovers deep in Milwaukee territory with a chance to win the game. But the Milwaukee D forces a 4th and 3 from the 7, and watch the defense. The Mustangs come up with a huge sack to save the day, completing the upset at Canby. Milwaukee wins it 14-9. One other final in the Three Rivers play tonight. West Lynn beat Putnam, the final 21-14. Now to Metro League action. Jesuit, the team to beat with 3 weeks left. Tonight, the third-ranked Crusaders were on their home turf against Newburgh. And what a wild one this turned out to be. We start things off with Diala Lewis going out the top, 16 yards to Chris Zervas. The play takes the ball down to the Newburgh 7. From there, give the ball to Woody Green, and he does the rest. Touchdown Jesuit. The Crusaders lead 18-0. A little later, the fireworks begin. Lewis is knocked out of bounds, and look out. Some pushing and shoving, and suddenly we have an all-out Donnybrook. Both benches come to the rescue, and you hate to see this in high school football. It takes about 10 minutes to clean up the mess. The game resumes, and Jesuit remains unbeaten with a 24-0 win over Newburgh. Right behind Jesuit in the standings is Glencoe. The Crimson Tide tried to keep pace facing Tigard. Glencoe's bread and butter man is the rugged Jim Rufiner. Glencoe opened the game with a 22-play touchdown drive. Rufiner carried the ball 21 times. This one is for 4 yards and the touchdown. Glencoe on the board first, and they lead 7-0. Then Glencoe's defense takes center stage. Watch Rob Guthrie with the sack. Glencoe moves to 6-1 on the year with a 17-7 win over Tigard. Other Metro League scores scores. Sunset continues to roll 41-7 over Forest Grove. Hillsboro 40, Beaverton 14, and Aloha 14-13 over McMinnville. The race in the PIL won't be complete through 7 weeks until Jefferson takes on Marshall tomorrow afternoon. Both teams 1 game behind Benson in the tight PIL race. However, the league-leading Techmen went out tonight to take care of business, hosting Franklin in the late game at Civic Stadium. And it's Benson all the way. Jerry Bushman to Kevin Miller, 36 yards in the touch, 20-0 Benson at the half. Third quarter, it's Miller again, this time on the reverse. Miller finds some room, and then he's gone. 37 yards in the touchdown. Benson rolling at this point up 27-0. The Techmen used the big play all night. This time, Jason Benton with the interception and 35-yard return for the touchdown. Benson stays on top of the PIL with a convincing 33-0 win over Franklin. Wilson was looking for some help from Franklin tonight, but they didn't get it, so the Trojans had to beat Grant to stay 1 game out in the league standings. Wilson on the move early in this one. Take a look at number 9. He's Brian McMahon. McMahon finds some room, and he makes the most of it. 46 yards on the play, all the way down to the Grant 10-yard line. A couple plays later, the Trojans score. Matt Cochran with the pitch to Sam Porter. 4 yards in the touch, 7-0 Wilson on top. A little later, the Trojans are on the move again, this time via the air. Cochran goes to Kevin Nelson. Another touchdown for the Trojans. They move to 6-1 on the year with a 34-0 win over Grant. Other PIL finals, Madison 21-14 over Cleveland, and Lincoln beat Roosevelt 30-25. Tomorrow, Jefferson takes on Marshall. We still have much more coming up on Sports Extra. We'll take you to Salem for a Valley League report, and our Class 3A coverage continues tonight with our first look at third-ranked Sherwood. Sports Extra continues after a quick timeout. In a hurry. This is Rich Nevis right at you. 9 yards for the touchdown. 6-0 Gresham. Then the Gophers add to their cushion in a big way. They pitch it out to John Valadez, and he is gone. 79 yards in the touchdown. Pay dirt Gophers, and they lead at this point 12-0. Then to throw a little passing in the offense, Jason Loeb will go to Valadez, 30 yards in the touchdown, and Gresham explodes early and often to beat Centennial. The final tonight at Gresham. There you see it, 41-0, Gophers win it. David Douglas and Barlow are right behind the Gophers, trailing Gresham by 1 game in the Mount Hood. Tonight, the Bruins were under the lights taking on Reynolds. Another big game for Barlow's Ray Livingston. Look at him go, 30 yards all the way down to the Reynolds 1-yard line. It sets up a touchdown. Then a little later, Barlow on the move again. This time, Kerry Hurt on the quarterback keeper, and he rambles 25 yards down to the Reynolds 14-yard line, setting up another touchdown for Barlow. It's courtesy of who else but Ray Livingston. Barlow wins again, this time 33-0 over Reynolds. 2 other Mount Hood finals tonight. David Douglas 20, Park Rose 16, and Sandy 36-6 over Central Catholic. Now to our Valley League report. South Salem and North Salem, the big showdown next week. Both teams warmed up tonight, and Jerry Murphy joins us from our Salem Bureau with the highlights. Jerry?
Steve, South Salem took its #1 ranking to South Albany tonight. Now, this would be a mismatch. The Rebels had not won a single game all season, and the Saxons put away this game quickly. On the very first play from scrimmage, South Albany starting near its goal line. The Saxons all over the Rebel quarterback, and he fumbles out of the end zone for a safety. 2-0 South Salem. The Saxons take the following kick and push it right downfield. Joe Douglas with a 17-yard gain to the Rebel 14-yard line. And Douglas finishes the drive on the very next play with a 14-yard scoring run. South Salem led 9-0. The Saxons get it right back, and once again it's Joe Douglas on the touchdown run. Following his blockers for a 20-yard score, South is now 7-0 after a 37-12 win. And at North Salem, the second-place Vikings